In this review, I'll be taking a look at the NECA Gremlins Mohawk Mogwai figure. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. This figure is actually a reissue, as the original release came out about a decade ago. I will take a closer look at the comparison between this one and the original, but first let's take a look at the packaging. The packaging is brand new. The figure comes on a blister card. Towards the bottom of the front is a paper insert with an illustration of the character as well as the name. Here you can get a good look at the figure itself. At the top is a Gremlins 2 logo, which is the film this character is from. On the side it shows that this figure is number 2 in this current wave of Mogwai figures. The opposite side just states the figure's action feature. Here's the bottom with the barcode. Turning to the back side, there is an image of the other Mogwai in this wave. These are all reissues as well. To the right there is an instruction of the action feature of the figure. Moving up we get a view of some other figures in the Gremlins toy line, as well as a little read-up of Mohawk. Here is a look at the front of the card back once the figure has been removed. The cool thing about this is that it's a homage to the old Gremlins 2 trading cards. Here is a look at that trading card. The back has the same little bio as well. Finally, here is the figure out of the package. This Mohawk Mogwai figure looks just like he did in the film. NECA did an amazing job with the sculpting. The majority of Mohawk's fur color is black, with some added white throughout. Looking closer at the head, he has a sinister smile, showcasing his little sharp teeth. The smile gives the character an even more evil appearance. To add to that smile are his squinted eyes. This Mogwai is definitely up to no good. Mohawk, like Stripe from the first film, is named for his white fur mohawk on the top of his head. NECA has chose to make the mohawk with real white hair instead of sculpting it. The hair is glued onto the head. While it's done better than the original release, which I will show you momentarily, I am just not the biggest fan of this real fur look. I would much rather have a sculpted mohawk. You may disagree with me, but that's just my opinion. Mohawk's ears are much larger than all the other Mogwai's ears. I do like the design though. There are even sculpted veins, which is a nice touch. Moving down to the body, while he does have a unique paint job, the body itself is the same as all the other Mogwai figures that have been released. I do really like the paint design. The little 3-fingered hands do have sculpted fingernails. The fur is nicely sculpted throughout as well. Here's a look at his little 3-toed feet. There are no peg holes on the bottoms of the feet. The same diamond pattern is on the back as well. The clear tab sticking out of the back of the head is to keep the eyes in place. By pulling that out, you can then use the trackball to articulate the eyes. Due to the inclusion of the trackball, the Mohawk does not extend down to the back of the head like it does in the film. Once the clear tab is removed, I would recommend that you do not throw it away, as it will come in handy. By rolling the trackball around, the eyes can be made to look in any direction. While this seems to be a neat and fun feature at first, I have to admit I hate this feature. The eyes easily get out of sync with one another. This causes some bad lazy eye looks. This has pretty much been the same case for every NECA Mogwai figure I've owned. I was really hoping with the reissues they would have fixed this, but sadly that's not the case. My recommendation is once you have the eyes positioned the way you like, just pop that tab back in and leave the eyes alone. Going over the rest of the articulation, the ears are able to rotate and move around. The jaw can slightly move up and down. The head can look side to side as well as up and down. The arms can go forwards and backwards, as well as slightly in and out. The lower arms can rotate. There's also rotation in the hands. The little legs can slightly kick forwards and back. There's also rotation in the legs. Now let's compare Mohawk to that original release. Sculpt-wise, it is mostly the same figure. The paint is pretty much the same too. The biggest difference comes in the fur on the ears. On the new release, the fur is all white. The original was black with a white stripe. The original actually was the correct paint job. This is a strange thing to change, and I'm not sure why they did. The next biggest and obvious difference is the size of the Mohawk. The original release had a much larger one. The new one is much better in my opinion and more accurate to the film. It just baffles me they corrected the Mohawk size, but then they messed up the color of the ear fur. Now let's compare Mohawk to some other figures. First up is Mogwai Stripe, an Ultimate Gizmo, the smaller Gizmo that comes in the accessory pack. Here he is next to Stripe in Gremlin form, and finally Mohawk in Gremlin form. So that is my review of the NECA Gremlins Mohawk Mogwai reissue figure. If you don't own the original release, I would recommend this figure for any Gremlins fan. Sculpt wise, it's still an amazing looking piece. Honestly though, if you do own the original release, I'm not sure that you should double dip. While I do like the smaller Mohawk on the head, I don't like how they changed the ear fur paint. Hopefully this review can help you in your decision. Once again, if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, as well as click on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Also, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button if you did enjoy this video. Thanks for watching.